Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Esther here from Esther-Astro-Healing. Today we're going to discuss a very important topic. When I was working on this topic and I was doing a lot of research and just really trying to put together for you the most important information, I realized again and again how important this topic and how really little was really provided to many of us to really understand the deep understanding of menstruation and someone who really wasting the seed. I want right away from the start to say this video not to shame anyone, not to put anyone down. Opposite, this video just to really provide us tools and a waking call and to understand what is really the ancient and the Zohar, the holy book of Zohar, the book of splendor, in such a details explain the energy, what we're really losing by really wasting such an important, life force. The most important life force was given to us, which is, the production of a human being. So the couple of things I want us to go over before I'm going to turn to the Zohar. Number one, myself as as a mother of teenagers and as a wife, I know very close to my heart the struggles for especially for the males with the whole concept of of the restriction. And because in my home we're really lucky, it's when you're growing in a spiritual home, we always had really open conversation with with our children, and to really understand what they're going through. And I really hope by you as a parent who's listening to this video right now, after you're gonna get this most important information. It's probably one of the most important videos I have ever made. I promise you, by end of this video, you with the information, the wisdom and knowledge you're gonna get, is gonna change your life. It's gonna change your life forever. It's gonna provide you such a powerful tools. It's gonna be much easy, for you, for your loved ones to understand this concept, to understand these topics. They're such an important. The life force was given to us to learn for us how to use, because we just really to mention is at least before we're going to go in more depth and turn to righteous souls to explain to us a little bit more how to deal with this challenge. One of the main things by many Kabbalists was recommended is the challenge of the 40 days. And I'm going to explain to you what is the 40 days. The 40 days, it's actually the number of 40 days. It's a Kabbalistic concept. When you really do something for 40 days, you actually earn this energy, and therefore it's going to be much easier for you to overcome whatever addictions, whatever negative traits you really want to overcome and earn, and to really stand for it and not to come back to it again and again, because there's a lot of tools. So it's not just, you cannot just tell your child, or if you have a conversation, or even you have conversation with your own self, and you know the struggle, you just cannot say yourself all those scary words and say, okay, I'm not going to do it. For many of for many of you, it's not going to work. We need to go much deeper to understand what's really creating, how much destruction and really chaos it's create, how much energy it's been taken from someone who's really giving away most important the source of energy. It's taken away from your productivity, your focus, your memory, your sustenance. It's affecting your family members, especially the children you have, especially the children under age 12 and 13. They affected tremendously by this energy. Your pets at home affected by it. It's really, and if, for example, you're someone who studies spirituality, who constantly wants to elevate, by time to time fall to this immediate desire, guess what? Those negative forces, they taking away all the knowledge, all the wisdom you gain. This is what they really after. We need to understand this as well. So, um, to give you some kind of tips, by end of this video, I'm going to give you really few steps how you can organize your day and organize yourself in order to have a little bit more support and to to succeed in this really war, because don't forget, we're here to fight a real war. And the number one war we came to fight is the war of Gog and Magog, war of our thoughts. And when you really, really understand, and what's really amazing about Kabbalistic knowledge, it's all about your own personal transformation. It's all about the wisdom you gain, and it's the wisdom which is you need to come to your own conclusion, because so far religious concept didn't help humanity. Opposite, many times religiosity using in order to put person in certain frame, like the I would say robotic consciousness. And then you can really work on yourself. You constantly feel you have a fear. There's a healthy fear, the fear of Hashem, the fear in front of creation. We must have a fear, because if we don't have fear in front of creation, we're like a loose can. We're worse than any incense. Even incense knows why he's here. We as humans will godlike. We have a spark of creator inside of us. We don't even know the power we have within us. Okay, so I am super excited. I'm going to share with you such awesome information. I'm going to provide links under my video how you can find those pages in Zohar in the website, Kabbalah centered website is the zohar.com website. I'm going to provide those links under my video. Please use it. Please make sure every time when you face the challenge, you will have such amazing support. And if you have any righteous soul you really connected, I recommend when every time when you study, every time when if you're gonna take the 40 days challenge for yourself, no matter if it's male, female, but mainly for the male, it's really, really strongly for the male. Make sure this 40 days you really create environment, then you will be super productive. You have a really clear schedule. You exercise more than usual, because your body really, really need to draw this physical energy. You will know, and you will study even more deep knowledge, because Arya Kadosh recommend when person who really wants to overcome this particular klipa, the negative shelf, he recommend to start to study more deep knowledge, something actually more complicated, something than you usually really don't want to even go there. You feel, it's, I don't really understand. And especially if you have a teacher, you have a mentor, go to open up and tell and ask for more support. It's extremely important, because there's a lot of support out there. And one very important righteous soul I want to mention right now, before we're going to continue with the secrets of the Zohar, it's Yosef Tzaddik, Joseph the Righteous. You can see here in the Tree of Life, in the Tree of Life reality, 10 Sfirot. I circle specifically Sphira, the elimination. It's called Yesod. Yesod is one of the eliminations which is connected to production organs. And this is exactly before Malchut. So righteous souls, they all had a chance to overcome the level of Yesod, the energy of Yesod. But why Yosef Tzaddik, the Joseph the Righteous, called Tzaddik Yosef Yesod Olam, Tzaddik Yesod Olam? Because he was the one who was able to earn this energy by going through a lot of struggles and transformation. And he's one of the righteous soul who hold this energy for us. And it's really good idea to go to the Zohar, especially in the period of Hanukkah, and read. There's a lot of pasukim, a lot of explanation about the period of time when Joseph was in Egypt, and especially when Joseph was serving in the house of Potiphar. If you know the story, I'm going to quickly give you this beautiful, beautiful short story. It's a lot of secrets inside. After Joseph, went through all the slavery, when he was sold by his brother, and he became slave, and then he, no matter where he was always a king. Even when he was in jail, it says even in jail, nobody talked to him down, because his energy, his presence was so powerful. Then even people who was working in jail was have a lot of respect for him. And when he was being noticed, by few servants. They told it, and he was interpreting the dream. This is how he was working inside of the house of Potiphar. And before he went to jail, what's really happened? It says then Joseph was one of the most good-looking men was ever created. He was so gorgeous that every woman, just by looking him, she had a huge desire for him. Now, the wife of Potiphar, she was one of the most beautiful women at the time in the whole entire earth. It says that no one even was allowed to look at her because she was no one prohibit beside the Potiphar to look at her. She has a beauty not from this world. So and she, when she saw first time Joseph the righteous, she had so much desire for him, and nobody ever told her no. So she really will start to go after him. She used to catch him in different places, and she used to touch him, and he did everything possible not to be tempted and not to be attracted to her, but he felt sort of some kind of energy from her as a soulmate energy. After we learn why, because his Potiphar daughter, was daughter, she was adopted daughter. She was the daughter from Dinah, right? The Dinah, when she was raped by Shem, she gave birth to daughter, and this daughter was adopted, right, by Potiphar, and she was growing this house. So somehow, and she was the soulmate to Joseph. You understand? The Torah book, I always say, there's no Hollywood movie can ever made better than actually Torah. What we have inside of the Old Testament, inside of the Torah, the Tree of Life, the Holy Book. So what's happened? One of the days, Joseph was helping in one of the rooms, and the wife of Potiphar saw him, and she saw he's alone, and she came to the room, and she told everyone to leave and just to be alone. And she started to jump on him. And there was some moment it was so hard for him to restrict because she was so beautiful, and he felt some kind of connection with the soulmate. He almost lost the battle, but there was a moment, Zohar says, then Yosef saw his father face in front of him. It's almost like his father, Yaakov appeared in front of him. And this is the moment when he earned the restriction, and he hold himself, and he ran away. And it says then piece of his closet stay in Potiphar's wife's hand. And this is how she claimed after she lied. She said, and he was trying to attack her. But in the upper world, what's happened at moment, Yosef overcome one of the most difficult restriction is the sexual desire. And this is the moment when he earned to be the king of the Sfira Yesod. How beautiful it is. Another thing Ariya Kadosh recommend, when you're going through the struggle, and this is the moment when you really need to stop. If you have anyone who you have so much respect, perhaps it can be your own father, or you have any mentor, or anyone who you really have a awe. You can have this person in your mind, and you have an image of this person in front of you, and right away stop. Else you can do after we're gonna learn in this video, after you're going to read, you're going to hear everything what Zohar explained. It's so powerful. My hope, and I pray for all of us, then it's going to move you so much. Then you will feel that you're not alone. There's so much support coming from upper level. Then we really need to use it, and always remember and use the tools, the wisdom. So, not further ado, let's continue with the Zohar. So now we're gonna start. We have I prepared for us. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have prepared for us 5 very, very important parts inside of the Zohar. So we're gonna start with this particular one because this is connect to Sfera Yesod. I want us first to understand the power of Sfera Yesod in order for us to continue. And I'm gonna give you by end of this particular page, I'm gonna give you another correlation and awesome, comparison with numerology you will see. So this one, it comes from a place called Bereshit in Zohar, Bereshit Bet. I'm gonna put link for you, and you can see, and it says the seven chambers of the Garden of Eden. I'm going to read in English and only one in Aramaic. I do encourage you to continue. There's a lot, a few other pages attached to it for you to read more, but just for us as a connection to really earn this energy and to feel this energy. So let's begin. The following sections of the Zohar explore the metaphysical structure of all reality. The Zohar is not just another book that provides information as we scan those Aramaic words and sentence. They convey mystical knowledge, profound spiritual influence, and positive energy into all realities of our lives. The Zohar is life enriching instrument that conveys the very same spiritual light that is described in these pages. The act of looking at the learning from the Zohar allows us to assimilate the energy that present in each and every letter. Quite simply, the words on those pages bring light to places of the darkness. There's a seven chambers in the Garden of Eden. That is seven levels of frequencies of spiritual energy. Those seven chambers correspond to the seven sphirot of seven dimensions. Through there are 10 sphirot at all. There's a comprise of all reality. They are divided into the two groups: an upper level, three. You remember in the tree of life, I showed you there's a 10 sphirot. So the first in the upper level, here the Zohar referring here, right, to the first three sphirot, it's called Keter, Chokhmah, and Binah. And the low seven sphirot, it's called Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malchut. And remember, we're talking about Yesod is the one sphira before Malchut. And Malchut is the world we all live in. It's called world of physical reality, world of illusion, and world of 1%. Okay, so continue. Generally, the upper three have no real influence or sway over our physical world. He's referring to the first three spheroid. They are above and beyond the boundaries of our cosmic neighbor. The lower seven, however, directly affect our world. More than that, they are like holographic projects that project the light of Creator into the three dimensions holograms that we perceive in as our universe. Because those are the seven lights sources. In is it surprisingly that the number seven appears again and again? Seven notes of music, seven colors of spectrum, seven seas, seven continents. And let me tell you guys what other thing we have seven. In Hebrew, the letter number seven represent letter Zayin. And the same word Zayin is represent male organ. So you see, it's not coincidence in Hebrew. This is how awesome it's Hebrew in Aramaic. So let's read just the first paragraph in Aramaic in order for us just to connect to this energy before we're gonna move on in more deep studies and more secrets about the topic we are right now discussing. Let's start in Aramaic. Amar Rabbi Shimon, hu Taninyan, dechad bara kadsha barichu, hu alma. גליב בגילופי דרזה דמהימנותה גולה, תהירין בריזין עילאין וגליף לעילה לגליף לטאטא וחולה ברזה חדה, ואבית עלמה טאטאה כי גוונה דעלמה עילאה, ודה כעמים לקייביל דה, למהווה קולה חד בייחודה וחדה בגיד כך, קודשה בריחו, הוא גליף גליפי דעתבן אלאה ותתה ובהו בראה עלמה. Okay, so now we're going to continue to next chapter of the Zohar. Okay, so this one I did a lot of research for us guys. So I hope you're really going to use it and you're going to benefit from it. I'm really praying for all of us, for the whole entire world. I promise you by end of this video, what you're going to learn from the Zohar, it's going to shake your core as it did mine, and it definitely will transform all of us. So this one, it comes again from Bereshit Bet, and the chapter 65, and it says, and Hashem saw that wickedness of man. When a man wasted the life force and seed used for procreation, negative forces immediately attach themselves to him. He has destroyed the unborn souls that exist in a state of potential within seed. Meditating above those verses removes negative sexual thoughts. Our intense sexual desire are positively challenged towards our spouse, bring renewal sense of passion and fire to our relations. I just want to mention quickly the Kabbalah, the whole system never going against sex. Sex is extremely important, powerful energy for the couple. Therefore, this is how it's important to understand. And I'm going to make another video which is going to give more secret and understanding about what is the sex according to Kabbalah, what is the thoughts we should have, how to prepare for it. Okay, so now let's continue in Aramaic. ויראה אדוני כי רבה רעתה והאדם בארץ וכל יצר מחשבה ליבו. רבי יהודה פתח כי לא אל חפץ רשע אתה לא יגורך רע ההוא קרא. איתמר ועוקמויה אבל תחזה מן דאית דבק ביצר הרע ואית משיך אף דריה ויסתבע הוא ויסבון ליה כמה דאיתמר. And I'm going to read in English the explanation of this particular pasuk. And Hashem, it's referring to Creator. It's another word in Hebrew we say. It's a direct translation and the name. And Hashem saw that wickedness of man was great upon the earth, and the impulse of thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Of the verse, for you are not El who has pleasure in weaknesses, nor shall evil dwell with you. From the Psalms of David, number 5. Rabbi Yehuda said, this verse has been discussed and explained, yet come, and behold, he who cleaved to and is led by the evil inclination is defiled and will be led further into defilement, as we have learned. You can after continue. I recommend for you to finish this section. There's a lot of secrets, a lot of deep secrets you can learn from here. And let's continue to another part of the Zohar. Okay, guys, the next section is again in Bereshit Bet, and it's chapter 66. And it starts, it grieved him to his heart. Evil forces fool us into blending complacency as they strategically maneuver their way into our consciousness. The Zohar gives us the power to persevere those forces by removing destructive influence. Complacency is replaced by inspiration toward change and spiritual development. And Hashem regretted that he made man on earth and grieved him in his heart. This is from Bereshit. Let's go in Aramaic. וינחם אדוני כי עשה את האדם בארץ ויתעצב אל ליבו. רבי יוסי פתח, הביא מושכי הבון בחבלי השווה כהבות הגלה חטאה. הווי מושכין ההון אלין בני נשא דחטא כמי מעריהון בכל יומה, ויתאמן בהינהו אינון חובין דאינון כחבלי השבה, וחשבין דההוא עובדה דאבדין, וההוא חובה דאבין, דאלו ליהיו כולם, ולה אשגח, בהו קדשה בריחו. עד דאבית לההוא חובה תקיף ורבי קבעות ועגלה ודהיו תקיף ולה יכיל לאיש תצאה. By the way, if you don't read in Hebrew, in Aramaic, no worries. You always can scan from right to left because our eyes is the window to our soul, and you're going to get a lot of energy from it. But eventually, I do recommend if people who have a Zohar, and if you don't have Zohar at home, I can't stress enough the importance to have Zohar at home and start to study. These are all deep secrets of universe, of our soul, our dimension. It's given us a really amazing blueprint of our existence, of why we're here, and how we can work with the world of angels, of all other kingdoms, with and to understand who we are, the creator within us. This is Zohar is the most important, definitely, books to have at home. So let's continue further. I'm very, very excited about the next two chapters. Really, really powerful. So the next chapter, it comes from portion Noah, and chapter 21. And let's begin. And he repaired the altar of Hashem that was broken down. The covenant between mankind and God connects to the Sphera of Yesod, which correlates to the reproduction organs of man. There is also a vital spiritual link to the circumcision of the newborn male child. The underlying lesson of this section is the Kabbalistic doctrine that all war, natural disasters, famine, slaughter, and massacre can be traced to destructive spiritual forces erased for humanity's negative sexual actions. I'm going to repeat again. The underlying lesson of this section of the Kabbalistic doctrine that all war, natural disasters, famine, slaughtering, and massacre can be traced to the destructive spiritual forces arise from humanity's negative sexual acts. Negative sexual acts are defined as those that are not for the purpose of the procreation of the bringing of the light to the creator of the world. Sexual relations between man and wife mirror the metaphysical forces at work in the upper world. You understand? What so below, what above, so below, so below, so above. Very important. The male corresponds to the realm of Yesod, and the woman to the world of Malchut. Whenever any kind of positive light and fulfillment reaches our lives, it is a direct result of the enjoying of Yesod and Malchut, of joining together those two Sphirot, Sphira of Yesod and Sphira of Malchut. Sexual relations accomplish this mating of the two upper world. However, negative forces constantly try to sever this connection. Those negative forces are so cunning and clever that they have deceived us into believing they do not even exist. Through our own meditation and desire to share, the power of those words of the Zohar can awaken the genuine understanding of the role sexual relations play in the relations of the light into the world. Very powerful. This section I'm strongly recommend to complete. I'm gonna just for the connection read the first one. There's a lot of explanation. If you're really new to the Zohar, don't take the explanation directly because you need a little bit more knowledge about Sfirot, a little bit more knowledge about Old Testimony, but it doesn't matter. Just by scanning and by studying, you're going to awaken such a tremendous life and light inside of you than your own angel, your own private angel you're born with, and he's always with you. He's going to get a lot of strength in order to support you at the moment of the falling. We need to remember that as well, okay? Let's start. Rabbi Yehuda hava shachia kamei. The Rabbi Shimon והבו עסקי בהיי קרא, דכתיב וירפה את מזבח אדוני הארוס, מאי וירפה תחזה, בימי אליהו ישראל קלחו שכיחו לקודשה בריחו, ושבקו ברית קיימה דליהון, כת עתה אליהו וכמה דהה שבקו בני ישראל האי ברית קיימה Ayavaru Miniahu Hai Brit. Guys, so to complete my video, I'm gonna leave us with a couple thoughts. We definitely, never through the history of humanity, the approach of to scare someone can help anyone. It's not about to scare us. It's about to awaken us to bigger picture and to understand what responsibility we have in front of creation, what responsibility we have for our family, for our ancestor lineage, how much it can affect and how much energy, because it's so the whole industry, if you when I was doing my research, it's the billions-dollar industry, the pornography, the all the such a easy access, especially for teenagers. The Satan really in this playground, really using this in order to, the suck energy of humanity through this wrong sexuality. What I mean by wrong sexuality, again, like we discussed, it's not just wrong sexuality, it's something much bigger. We've been given the most important tool in order for us to use to procreate and to create another human being, which is to provide the vessel for another spark of creator to enter. And every time when we don't restrict and we're not using properly this tool, we are the one who really creating the chaos in this whole world. We need to remember that. We at least need to know the bigger picture. So I want to wish to all of us, really to each of us on our own level, male, female, to see how we can grow more spiritual, to understand the really bigger picture, to take our own responsibility and to take um, we all have a mission in this dimension. Each of us our own unique mission, and we more and more start to connect to it because we live in a time when not longer a lot of concealment exists. Everything become more revealed. With that, more responsibility comes. So, Be'ezrat Hashem, God willing, we all will have our own awakening and all understanding and appreciation of the opportunity we have to be in this dimension, to so to say, to play our own role as a God, because we do have a spark of creator inside of us, and to bring the final redemption, to stop the pain and suffering and chaos what's happening in the world. And it's actually in our own hands. So before we're going to judge anyone or before we're going to have a smart conversation, especially political conversation, we all need to pause and ask ourselves, what do I do on my part? Do I bring more chaos and destruction, or am actually transforming myself and activating the real energy of Mashiach of final redemption? Okay, guys, wish you many blessings, much love, and all the best. Bye bye.